Hello, I'm Mark Willows from Clocks for Classics, and today we're going to use one of our UniTacho repair kits to repair this Veglia Borletti Tachometer. Now the first thing we need to do is to remove the tachometer from its case, and to do that we need to remove this bezel. Now unlike many others, this one doesn't twist off, and so what we need to do is just get a small screwdriver and lever up these small tags here. There's 3 or 4 of them around the circumference of the case. So I'm just going to lever those up now, and then we should be able to remove the bezel. Okay, so I've now levered up those tabs, and when you're doing this it's best not to lever them too far, just enough so that you can prise the bezel from the case. So I've levered those up now, and I should be able just to use a small screwdriver and prise the bezel away from the case. There we are, that's the bezel removed, and then we can remove the glass, and there's a seal behind it, you can see, which we've also removed. That's attached to the glass. Okay, so now if we turn the tacho around, we can remove these 2 screws and this nut, and then we should be able to slide the tacho movement from its case. So as you can see, I've removed the tacho movement from the case, and if we take a look at it, we can see that just behind the dial there is the original circuit board, and that function is going to be replaced with our UniTacho circuit board. But we need to gain access to the wires from the circuit board, and so we need to remove it. And to do that we need to remove the dial and the needle. So in order to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is just protect the dial with this cardboard shield that I've made. I'm just going to slip that over the dial underneath the needle, and then I'm going to use these 2 teaspoons as levers. I find that's the best thing. But before I use those, I'm just going to put a little bit of blue tack on top of the needle, and what that does is it just adds a bit of weight and prevents it from flying too far when it releases. So I'm just putting the 2 teaspoons underneath there now, and get right underneath the needle and just gently lever up, and there we go. That's the needle removed. I'll put that to one side, and then we can remove the dial simply by just undoing the 2 securing screws here. Just be careful when you're doing that that you don't slip and scratch the dial. So I've removed the dial, and I have the circuit board here. If I just zoom in, you can see it a bit better, and you can see that there are these 2 grey wires which join the circuit board to 2 tags on the movement, which is the part in the centre, and we want to join those wires to our UniTacho board. So what I'm going to do is cut them at the point where they join the circuit board, so leave as much length in place as possible. So I'll cut one there and one there, and that leaves the 2 wires free. Now to remove the circuit board, the first thing we need to do is to remove these 3 spade connectors at the back here. It's sometimes easier to get a screwdriver underneath them to prise them free, but they should come free fairly easily. Okay, so now you can see I've disconnected those 3 wires, and to release the circuit board from the movement, if I just zoom in, you can see there's this clip here with these 2 little tabs on the side of it, and to release the board what you need to do is to rotate that clip. Now you may find that there's a bit of lacquer around it that has stuck it in place, so you may need to get a screwdriver and very gently just lever it around the edges. But once you've done that, you should be able to rotate it. Now the way I've done this is to get a small pair of pliers, and if I zoom out a bit so you can see, I've got the pliers like this. Hope you can see that, and I've just turned that tab there. So I'm turning it that way, and then you can just lift the circuit board off. And when you're lifting it off, be careful not to break the connections to these two wires. So you see I've got the wires left in place there. Okay, so that's our old circuit board removed, and the next thing we're going to do is to test the movement. Okay, to test the movement, you can see that I've stripped these two wires so that we've got bare ends, and I'm going to take an AA battery and connect it between the two wires. And if I do that, you can see that the movement moves, and it tells me it's working, but it also tells me which end is positive and which end is negative. So this is the positive end, so I'm going to mark that so that I know which way round it is. I'm going to mark it on with a plus on this side of the movement. Now if the movement didn't move when I did that test, then just try turning the battery round, because it may be that the wires are the other way around. So you'll see if I connect the movement this way round, it moves. There we are. But if I connect it the other way round, it doesn't. Okay, so now we know which way round those wires are, and we know that the movement works. So the next thing is to look at fitting our UniTacho board. Okay, so this is our UniTacho board from the repair kit. And as you can see, there are some pre-fitted wires, and there is a white and an orange wire on this side, and these are the wires that connect to the tacho movement, and there is a red, black and a blue wire on this side, and those are the wires that connect to the vehicle. And I guess one other thing to point out is that if we look at the top of the board, just here, there is a small push button, and that's used to calibrate the unit, and we'll talk about that later. So the first thing we need to do is decide where we're going to fit the board, and I've decided that I'm going to fit the board just here. That will allow me to put the wires easily onto the movement. The orange and white wires will connect just onto here. When you're deciding where to fit the board, just bear in mind that different tacho cases have different amounts of space, so just check that it's somewhere that will fit into your tacho case when you fit the mechanism back into the case. So the way I'm going to fix it on there is with hot melt glue. You can also use a sticky pad, but I'm going to use hot melt glue, and I'm going to do that now. Okay, so you can see that I've fixed the circuit board in place there. If you're using hot melt glue, do make sure that none of it gets inside the moving coil movement, as that would cause problems. And one other thing to mention, you need to make sure that this button, this calibration button, is somewhere where you can access it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to join the orange and white wires to the tacho movement, and the orange wire needs to join to the plus side of the movement. You remember I put this plus mark over here, and the white wire needs to join to the negative side of the movement. Now there's a couple of ways we can do this. If you're confident with soldering, then the neatest way is just to unsolder these two grey wires. These two wires here, and solder the orange and white wires directly onto these tags for the movement. Now I'm going to show you an example of that on another board that I have fitted. So here's a very similar movement, and you can see that I've just soldered the wires directly to the tags, and that's probably the neatest way. But if you want to join the wires without soldering, then you can use the gel connectors supplied with the kit. Now the way you use these is, first of all, you make sure that the wires are unstripped. So I've cut off the stripped end that we stripped on the grey wire, and then you just push the wires into the two holes in the connector, and you need to make sure that the wires are pushed right to the end. You can see through the connector, so you can be sure they are pushed right to the end. And then you just get a pair of pliers, and if I zoom in a bit, you just press down on this button, and it's important to, you need to use a pair of pliers, and it's important that you press firmly down and make sure that it's pressed down all the way around the edge. But as long as you do that, you'll get a good connection. And then you need to tuck that out of the way in a position where it won't foul against any of the movement, so the movement's still free. So you do that for both the positive and negative side, and that connects the orange and white wires to the UniTacho. So now we need to connect the three vehicle wires from the UniTacho. So we've got a red wire, which is the plus 12 volt supply, a black wire, which is the ground or earth, and a blue wire which connects to the ignition coil. So the first thing we need to do is just work out which spade connector is which, and you can tell that quite easily because it's marked on the back of the case. So if we look there and we imagine which way round the movement fits in the case, we can see that this right hand one, this right hand spade terminal, is the positive terminal, so I'm going to mark that with a plus there. The middle one is the earth or ground, so I'm going to mark that with a G, and then the last one is actually just marked as 1 on here, and that is the number for the ignition coil, so I'm going to mark that with a C. So as you can see, I've gone ahead and made the connections for those three wires, and I've also refitted the dial, and we have the blue wire connected to the coil terminal, the black wire connected to the ground terminal, and the red wire connected to the plus terminal. And to make those connections, you can either do as I've done here and use some crimp-on spade terminals, or you can solder the wires directly onto the terminals themselves. So the next thing to do is to replace the needle. So when you replace the needle, you need to make sure that the movement is in its rest position. So if I just zoom in, you can see the movement there. You just need to make sure it's against its stop, and you can hold it there with a finger, and then it's just a matter of placing the needle on the shaft, aligning it with the 0 mark, and just apply a bit of light finger pressure to press it back into place. So there we are. So there's not much to do now. The next thing you need to do before we place the tacho back in its case is to calibrate it, and as I mentioned before, that's done using this calibration button. We do this before we put the tacho in its case, and there is a separate video which explains how to do this, and you'll also find it in the written instructions. But once we've done that, then we can put the tacho back in its case, and I'll do that now. So there we are. I've fitted the tacho mechanism back in its case. I've refitted the two case screws and the earth tab with this nut, So now all we need to do is refit the glass, and finally the bezel. Once we've clipped the bezel in place, we need to just use a screwdriver on a flat surface just to press those tabs back into place. So that's the UniTacho fitted. When you come to fit the tacho to the vehicle, please take a look at the vehicle installation instructions on our website, and thank you for watching.